Hello, everyone. I've got a question. Um, and really, I was asking myself this. This was a question that I asked myself, and then I answered it. So, in the self-questioning, I finally decided to make a video and share the question. So, the self-question becomes a collective question. Do you really believe that the struggles that you face, the problems you face in life, are something that has not been experienced throughout history? Do you think that your experiences are foreign to every ancestor? This is a really good question. The death of a parent, the loss of someone that you're deeply in love with, the loss of a child, getting fired from a job, being attacked or ridiculed, whatever the case may be, dealing with siblings or family or co-workers that oppress you. Whatever we may be going through in life, we have to realize that pretty much every ancestor has gone through this. We may have a few lucky ones, but basically these problems are not new. These same problems have been faced for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. If we could go back to ancient Babylon, okay, 5,000 years ago, I could guarantee that there was a successful scribe, made pretty good money. His parents died. Maybe this scribe made enough money that he got a little overweight. He got out of shape, got fat. Parents died. Fell in love with a woman, okay? Or if you're a woman, you can replace this with man, whatever. Well, I'm talking about an ancestor. And he had a great dowry or whatever, he had this thing, and it fell apart. There was some kind of political thing in the bride's family that they decided this marriage cannot take place. Parents die, you lose your love, and then maybe this scribe lost his position, is exiled, taken away from his position, his state, his position of power, or whatever. These things happen all the time, okay? So if you're getting fired from your local job, you break up with a girl, or you break up with a guy, or you're dealing with poverty or disease, or a close person that you love passes away, these things have been experienced for thousands and thousands of years. These are universal to the human experience. Now, I'm not saying this to be calloused. I'm not saying this to say, my purpose is not to say that your experience doesn't matter. It does. Your experience is part of the collective human suffering and experience. But this is something that we all face. You are not alone in your experience. We all experience these painful things. I have. We all have. To a large extent, there are some lucky individuals that are healthy and, whatever the case may be. Most of us experience these trials. But this is part of the human experience. It's been going on for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, since the dawning of civilization. My point is that we need to have that warrior spirit. We need to realize that we all face these trials and tribulations, and we need to be strong and rise up. We have a choice when faced with a challenge. We could either curl up into a ball and accept the pain and suffering. We could curl up into a ball or try to escape with some new device, some new technology, some new distraction, some new pleasure. We could try to escape from our problems. We can curl up into a ball and enter into cowardice. Or we can engage in life with all our powers. We can fully engage in life. We can place all of our muscle, our strength, our power, our mental capacity to overcome adversity, to fight against the enemy, to overthrow those that oppose us, whether human beings or circumstances or powers. We have a choice of laying down our swords and raising our white flag and saying, I give up. Okay, life, I've given up. Or we could fight, we could push, we could struggle, we could wrestle with the forces that oppose us and overcome them, or try. Even if we don't overcome, we have gained strength, because strength is gained through the practice of resistance. Resistance empowers, and it could also crumble and disable. It could also do that, just as getting into an accident could injure an individual. But if we still have fighting capacity, if we still have the powers to oppose those that oppose us, we need to stand up, because it is part of, I think that we need to strive to accomplish, to overcome. The metaphysical community is dominated by this idea of vibration and higher frequencies, and we need to rise above, and if you have positive thoughts, and if you think of things as struggle, they will be a struggle. I've been there. I began my journey into esoteric subjects by having this idea, mentalism. I'm fully familiar. I've read the books. I've practiced for decades. This idea of the outside world being a total reflection of your internal attitudes. We are all free to have our opinions on this matter, but at my present state, at the current moment, from life experience and from decades of practice, I believe that struggle is a useful thing. This concept of struggle, of contending, of wrestling. I believe, from my own personal perspective, that it is within our nature to rise above, to strike out against tyranny. Why does aggression exist? If aggression and opposition and opposing and wrestling and fighting against, if these things were not natural, if they were not important, why would these things exist within our nature? Well, why does lust, sexual desire exist? Why do we have lust or sexual desire? It's to reproduce. It's to have offspring. It's for survival. Why do we have the desire for food? Well, to eat, to live. Why do we have aversion to pain? So that we don't, get hurt. Why do we get sleepy? So we can go to sleep and get rest. So to say that the desire for opposition and struggle and aggression is wrong. Is nature wrong in its wisdom to give us the desire to sleep, to have food, to reproduce, to want to accomplish? Is nature wrong to give us biorhythms, to give us cellular reproduction or metabolism, whatever else the case may be. Like, obviously, nature has given us an aggressive instinct. And in my opinion, part of this is meant to struggle, to strive, to fight against the forces opposing us. So, there are all aspects. There are many different facets or aspects to things. Yes, we need to be soft at times. That is the yin. We need to be soft. But sometimes we have to be hard. We have to struggle. We have to fight. But I began this video with talking about this idea that really struck me. That whatever you may be going through, whether it is the death of a parent or a close friend that you're struggling with, or you were in love with somebody, you love someone and they don't want you, and they left you, they're gone. The death of a child, the loss of a child. Whether you're dealing with coworkers that oppose you, getting fired, loss of possessions. All of these things have been experienced by every ancestor, pretty much, for the most part, that you've ever had throughout your genetic DNA, thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Your experiences are pretty much universal to the human experience. Now, some people have worse experiences than others. There are people that are slaves, that are forced to have sex and work for nothing. There are people that go through all kinds of trauma, seeing their entire village raped and pillaged and murdered in front of their eyes, their whole families. People go through these things. My point is that your experiences and pains and sufferings are part of, like, everyone goes through this. Sometimes you can control external circumstances, but we cannot control the past. But whatever you go through, what you have control over is your reaction. We control our reaction. We control how we interact. When a problem in life faces us, we control how we react. When our boss fires us and we have no income, we control how we react. Will we go out the very next day and look for a job? Or will we lump into depression and not look for a job for a week and depend on others? When someone clearly does not want us, that we desire romantically or sexually, do we move on? Do we move on with our lives? Do we begin the process of healing? Maybe find someone else that is interested? Or do we go into stalker mode? Or do we go into a depth of depression and despair? When someone dies, we need to grieve. It's important. We have to do it. But do we allow it to crumble us? Do you think that let's say your parents die, or a close friend, do you think that close friend or relative wants their death to crumble you? Do you think that they want their death to hurt you, to disable you? No. My point is, we have to rise up. We have to rise above whatever struggles you're going through. And we all go through them. All of us have our struggles. I'm sure that part of this video, I'm just a person like anyone else. I'm just someone making videos. I'm sure we all have ideas. But my point is, I'm sure that this video that I make speaks to pretty much everyone. Pretty much all of us are going through things. Okay, my point is, we have to rise above. We have to grit our teeth and dig into our problems. These are our trials. These are our tests. Okay? And we have to take a stand. We have to rise up. We have to rise up into higher levels. We are faced with two options. We're faced with a choice. Will we lie down, or will we rise up and oppose? Will we allow problems to crumble us, to push us down, to depress us? Or will we do everything that we can to overcome our problems, to rise above the struggle? Darwin, his theory of evolution, he talked of natural selection. Natural selection is obviously where those that survive are allowed to reproduce. But at a subtler level, not just reproduction. Which of us are able to overcome adversity? When life tells you no, you will not. Who of us will say, yes, I will? Well, depending on what it is. Some things we should not pursue that we think that we should. But my point is, when life pushes us down, we have to give a pushback. This is part of that warrior spirit. And I think that this warrior spirit is lacking in our society. It's lacking in our education system. It's not taught to us in schools as it should be. It's not taught to us in movies. What are myths? What is mythology? What is scripture? Mythology, whatever you want to call it. Sacred myths in ancient pagan Greece or ancient Norse, Egyptian, Babylonian. To a certain extent, they taught us about life struggles and how they were at times overcome. How do we approach these things? Sacred stories convey certain lessons. Scripture does the same, a similar thing. Our modern stories or mythologies are movies, Marvel movies, horror movies. This is now our entertainment is Hollywood. Sometimes it doesn't do a very good job of conveying the type of thing that our ancestors would have. What I want to convey is that we are our ancestors. We are no different than human beings 1,000 years ago. Do you really believe that we are inherently different than someone from the Middle Ages? Do you really believe that our brains, our bodies are somehow different than someone from the Middle Ages, from 1,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago? Do you really think that we're different? We're pretty much the same. Our minds are the same, and while technology and society may have developed, our problems are very much the same. So my point is that this is part of human experience. And we have to delve within ourselves. We have to face these challenges. We have two choices. Two choices. Will we allow things to pull us down, or will we bring ourselves up? That is important. That is an important question. Will you allow things to conquer you? It's a choice. Will we allow ourselves to be conquered? Now, what I'm very much focused on is physical fitness. I do a lot of weightlifting and training and things like that. Still have the vape. I still have things that I'm working on, but I'm trying. I'm struggling. But the struggle is important. The struggle is where life manifests. Friction creates heat, creates a fire. When you rub, when you create friction, it can create a flame, a fire. It's with friction. It's with the interaction of Ida and Pingala that creates the rising of Kundalini. Friction, contending forces. This is what literally holds the universe together with attraction, repulsion, cohesion, and adhesion. And the universe reflects itself from place to place. Cells divide and reproduce. Cells die, they have metabolism, so do human beings. The moon goes through its phases. The plants shed their leaves in the fall, bloom again in the springtime. Human beings wake up at sunrise and go to bed in the evening. We go through life cycles of birth and death. What is found in one place in nature could perhaps be found in other aspects of nature. Now, I'm just a person just throwing out ideas. I'm just a person throwing out ideas that I have. And that's what I am. I'm a person that have ideas that come to me when I think to myself, and I make videos. Okay? They could very well be wrong. But this is how I see it. We have to contend. We have to engage all our energies in life. How much will we engage in life? Think of a video game. Okay, you're playing a video game, but you're only going to half play it. Okay, you're not going to really put all your effort and attention. You'll play a little bit, and then you'll get up and go get something to eat while the enemies fucking kill you in the game, alright? No, you have to put your energies, your focus in the game. If you are a musical composer, and you're composing a great symphony, and you decide, you know what, I'm not really gonna do this to the best of my abilities. I'm just gonna halfway, compose. I'll halfway it. I don't have to do great. I'll just halfway the symphony. That symphony is life. And to a certain extent, we have external forces. To a certain extent, we reap what we sow. Enjoy what you have in life. Engage in life with all your energies. Don't hold your energies back. Don't hide behind a book, or YouTube, or food, or pornography, or whatever that we distract ourselves with. Stop the distractions. We have to engage in life. Let's say career. At least these 8 hours, we need to put all our focus. We want to be the best that we can be. Whether it is a plumber, or an electrician, or a store cashier, or a stockbroker, or an entrepreneur, or some type of merchant, we should engage all our energies. In love, we should not ignore our partner. When our partner is doing kind and sweet things, we should return that. We should not ignore our children. We should not ignore God or the divine, the spiritual kernel in the heart of man. These things are not to be ignored. I think one problem in our culture and society is distraction. Distraction is a wasting of time, precious time, that could be spent with our family, our loved ones, engaging in our life, engaging in our professions, our jobs, to get ahead. Spending time with friends, having fun, isn't engaging with life. You know why? We're not in our smartphones. We're not distracted with fucking Facebook and YouTube videos. No. When our friends have a barbecue or a fire or whatever the hell they're doing, riding motorcycles, whatever you and your friends do, you're there in the moment. You're in the present. You're there with your friends when you do that. This is life. This is engaging in life. We have to be there in the moment when we're with our friends. We're in that moment, and it is fun and social. When, whatever the case may be, whatever we are engaging in, this has been hitting me a lot lately, that we need to engage in life with all of our energies, all of our focus. There was a meme, a meme, that I saw recently on Facebook. What was that movie? It was like a cartoonish type movie. It was a cartoon. What was it? Like an old man, like his house, he gets like balloons and like he goes on an adventure. I forgot what the fuck it was. Anyways, the meme shows one picture of him holding his wife's hand. They're each reading books. And the next picture is him older, and in the movie she dies of cancer. And he's sitting in the chair looking over, remembering. And it says, you don't miss something until it becomes a memory. What you have right now will be a memory. Where you live will be a memory. Your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, your romantic partner. Maybe you'll stay together and that would be great, but if you break apart, that will be a memory. Enjoy the time that you have. If you're single, focus more on your friends. I mean, why not? This is what you have. What you have is the moment. And of course, like, this shouldn't even be something I need to say, but it should be obvious. Like, I'm not some enlightened figure. I'm not some guru. I'm not. I'm literally someone that has these ideas hit my head like really, really fucking fast. And at a certain point in my life, they've hit me all my life and have gone nowhere. I have notebooks and notebooks and notebooks of me writing shit down that just got thrown in the trash throughout my childhood and my teenage years. When I reached a certain age, I started making videos. But I'm very flawed and imperfect. I'm not saying that I'm some guru, I'm some enlightened figure. I'm not. I'm literally just a person that shit hits my head and I make fucking videos. So that's what it is. But this has been on my mind lately a lot. That we need to engage in life with all our energies. It hits me. It hits me a lot. All of these ideas I'm talking about, they hit my head and I think about them, you know? I'm eating steak, whatever I'm doing, watching TV, these ideas hit me. And eventually I'm like, you know what? I need to make a video. Once I make a video, it's like a release, you know? It's almost like, I don't know. You need to release. You finally release. Mark Rosario Poe has tuned in. But anyways, yeah, if you tuned in late, like, there's a whole context to this. I would really encourage you to go back and watch the video from the beginning, because, like, it's really hard to get the full context of what I'm saying from this, which I may upload to YouTube later. So just so you know, this is a Facebook live. But yeah, these things have been hitting me. We have to engage in life. If you're a latecomer, I encourage you to watch from the beginning to get the full context. To me, it's important. We are all individuals. To many people, it may not be important. To me, it's important. We have to engage in life. That's it for today, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see y'all next time.